Film Autopsy.
New opening.
Yes.
You surprised me with that. You didn't tell me. Well, you did mention it last time that you might do it, but I never expected it to appear. That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, had to update it and switch it up.
Yeah.
What is going on? Oh, my movie loving badasses. It's your boy Preston. That's right. Phat Samurai Guy back again with another episode of Action Film Autopsy, baby. That's right. And we have up in the house, he has returned, the master of remaster, sweetheart, Frank Djeng. Welcome back, brother.
Hello, darling.
And you know him, and you love him. That's right. Kung Fu Santa is back
again. And let me do this properly. What Frank said that he wanted to fight with you. What I'm saying is that our responsibilities are covered. So this is I want to fight. We have problems. This means I have no problems with you, unlike Frank.
Well, welcome back, Rick. It's good to have you back, brother. And who do we have? Everybody in chat. Oh, here we go. Fankster in the house. Expendables. Yeah. I love it. Oh, we got Michael Gonzalez, the creator.
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, happy October, Lady Davis. That's right. Good to see everyone here. There we go.
We're still living in September, though. We're still living in September.
Right. Tyler's saying hello. Phat Samurai Guy and Rick.
It's
hello,
always
everyone.
September somewhere, you know.
Right. Oh, the champ saying hello from Louisiana. Look at that. Yes.
Gumbo.
Good having everybody here. And don't forget to check the link in the description box below to check out the Urban Action Showcase and Expo. That's right.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm jealous, Rick. But next year,
yep,
I'm gonna try to be there. I'm gonna try to be there next year.
You can stay at my place. We can train in together.
Oh, that'll be amazing. But yeah, check out the link in the
don't
description box
Don't
below.
snore.
No, Frank, he has the downstairs bedroom. It's all right.
Oh,
yeah.
I won't be hearing it. I have good. I don't
know. I snore like Godzilla, so I don't know. That might be a
insulation.
But yeah, make sure you guys check out the link of Urban Action Showcase. Click on it, see what's coming up this year. Buy some merch.
In the New York area, get in here, man.
Oh, the Fanatical Dragon.
Fanatical Dragon.
Good to see you, brother. Yes, it's good to see you. And before we kick it off, we got to let everybody know that they can get a piece.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
Oh, you want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You got it!
Get a piece of Rick.
Yes. Also in the link below. That's right. Make sure you click on it so you can check out the exclusive. Oh, what appetizing items that we have here. Autographs, exclusive vintage posters and photos and all this from your favorite actors. You get their autographs. Get a piece of Rick. Check it out. The link is in the description box below, and there's a whole lot more here. Was there anything else you say about these items, Rick?
Well, I have a lot to say about these items. I mean, basically, if you want to negotiate, if you see the price on the Chimera publishing thing and you want to negotiate, we can give you the address and the emails, and you can negotiate and get. And several people have already done that. And also, it's not just kung fu stuff; it's everything that I've worked in, and that's a lot of stuff. If you check my Wikipedia or my IMDb page, you can see I've done a lot more than just kung fu. Although kung fu is probably what I'm at the moment best known for.
Yes. So yeah, make sure you guys check it out. A lot of awesome stuff is there. And speaking of more awesomeness, I gotta bring it up. I gotta let everybody know that's here, baby. This is like awesome big news, baby. We're gonna bring it up. Oh, what? Magic Crystal. That's right.
Oh, there we go.
Blu-ray coming out. Look at that. It's actually on sale right now. Yes, it's coming out. So make sure you guys have to buy this movie. It is wild. Cynthia Rothrock, Andy Lau, Richard Norton. That's right. And what? Commentary track. That's right. Ric Meyers has returned. Yes. And I know.
Thanks to Frank.
Yeah, thanks to Frank. Yeah, thanks to Frank. But I'm looking forward to watching the film because this movie's wild. And I can't, I'm looking forward to see both of you talk about. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
It's just an audio commentary. We're not on screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah.
I'm just kind of disappointed that they didn't mention this was a San Diego Comic-Con commentary. It just says,
That's right. We were by the pool at the Marriott.
Cool.
That's right. Yeah.
Frank wanted to go out by the pool, and so when other people were using the pool, Frank would go, "What are these people doing here at the pool? Don't they know we're recording?"
No, clearly we're recording. Why would they still talking? Like, why would they deliberately sat next to us and start chatting?
Yeah, I wish I would have invited them onto the commentary.
Hell no.
So I'll hell no. So I'll after the stream, I'll put a link to this site. You can go straight to it if you guys would like to buy it. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome for sure.
Also, it's limit 2, by the way. I heard. I believe it's limit 2.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, it's limited. There we go.
I think it's limit 2. I mean,
limit 2.
You can only buy 2 copies.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's all limited edition now.
Yeah, it's all limited.
Right. There you go, guys. There you go. Oh, look at that. Look, it's already been. They're already pre-ordering it. Frank, look at that. They're already pre-ordering it. Check it out.
You.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes. Let's see who else is here. Sean, how you doing? Michael Gonzalez again. What's going on? Shin Batman, good to see you. Yeah, look at that. He's excited. Look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
First time in over 10 years, by the way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rick has returned. And it was Rick's, audio commentary back in the day, which what brought me to the Rick's dance. That's right. And I was like, I got to hear more of this guy because this guy is fun. All right.
Yep.
Let's start the show. First up, I'm going to kick it off because I'm the only one that has seen this. But Bad City. Yes, Bad City. And is directed by Kensuke Sonomura. That's our boy Rick from Hydra. Yes. And here's a quick plot synopsis for everyone. Keiko City is plagued with poverty and crime when a corrupt businessman decides to run for mayor and starts eliminating opponents from the rival mafia. A former police captain serving time for murder is secretly released and put in charge of a special task force to arrest him. Yes. That captain is played by Hitoshi Ozawa. Yes, and everybody knows who Tak Sakaguchi is. But yes, Hitoshi, is amazing in this movie. Rick, the character that he plays literally stepped right out of an 80s action film. He literally stepped out of an 80s action movie and showed up in this film. And Tak Sakaguchi, he's the man. Every scene he's in, he steals, and he doesn't even have to say a word. Yes. So just to remind everyone out there, I love this movie. It's really good, very well made. But just a reminder and a heads up that this is more of a crime drama. All of the action is mostly at the end. So it's not like a nonstop action thrill ride martial arts type of movie. There's action here and there, but the finale is phenomenal, Rick.
I'm not surprised. It's the Hydra guy.
Yeah. And I, ever since we, showed that Hydra fight here on the channel way back, I always was curious, Rick, because that was like one of the best one-on-one fights, and you recommended that we showed here. I was always curious what that type of style and that fight choreography, how would that look with multiple people? So there's like 50 people fighting with this type of fight choreography at the end of the movie, and it is absolutely amazing, insane. You got a lovable cast of characters here. This is his team that the captain's put together in charge of to take down the bad guys. Now, with this movie, there's so many different sects and groups. You have the Yakuza, you have this Korean gang, you have the cops, you have the politicians. So you guys got to pay attention. So no TikToking, all right? No TikToking while watching this movie because there's a lot of characters.
Where can they see the movie?
They can see it on what? Hiya. That's right. Logo USA. Yeah. And the Blu-ray is available as well, I believe.
That's right. So you can TikTok all you want because you can watch it over and over and over and over again, which I'm planning to do because those Hydra, the guy who did Hydra, Kensuke, it's like I got to watch this stuff over and over again to catch everything.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up, Rick, because when I watched it the first time, enjoyed it. And then when I watched it with my friends the second time, I was like, let me watch this man right here. Let me take a look at him because this guy is like 61 years old. Hitoshi is. And guess what, Rick? No stunt double for the entire movie.
I'm not surprised.
I couldn't believe it.
They don't have the money for a stunt double.
Oh.
No, it's true. It's
Yeah,
low
it's-
budget.
yeah.
He always does low budget and
Yeah.
controls it utterly, and that's what's so great about it. But also the other great thing, because we'll be talking about this later with some other projects. If you want to put that picture back up, I also talk about this. The moment, well, that one's valid. The other picture, whether he's coming in, again, you can feel his energy. You
Yes.
can feel his acting ability in the still picture alone.
Yes.
So when he comes on screen, it's kind of like when I'm watching a movie like this, I just go, whoa, and I lean in, and it's like I can't take my eyes off him.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case, as we'll find in several subsequent projects we'll be talking about.
Yeah. And it's just he's 61 years old, and he's getting kicked in the back of the head. He's getting dragged down the steps, weapons, fighting. I mean, it's this guy's amazing.
How old is Keanu now? Keanu, I think, just hit 60, didn't he?
Oh, did he? You know what? I'm not sure. He might be up to 2.
He either hit 50 or 60, and he's
not the star. That's him on the right, Kinsuke. Yeah. That's him on the right. He's actually not the star of this. He's just.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, you get some great stuff. Highly recommend it. Bath City, 2 thumbs up. Just remember, it's more crime, drama, thriller, and all the action's at the end. But holy shit, 30 minutes.
But the action is worth it, so don't worry about it. Just see it. Don't worry that it's done. And do what I do. Fast forward to the fight.
Yes. There we go. I want Bad City on Blu-ray. Look at that. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you. Look at that. Channel member for 30 months. Yes. Congrats again. Thanks again for your support over the years, Kevin. Appreciate that. All right. Next up, Creation of the Gods.
No, I'm the only one who's seen it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get my notes here. There we go. This is very heartening. This is, the last really good Chinese movie I thoroughly enjoyed, outside of, Blind Swordsman, Eye for an Eye. But this is a major release. This is one of the best grossing movies of the year in the Chinese box office.
Oh, wow.
It's not a streaming film like Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman. It's a major motion picture. The last one I really, really liked was Na Cha. Na Cha which is the animated movie that they had on Haya for a while, but now has disappeared, and you can find it on Tubi. But unfortunately, in the dubbed version, because the original subtitled version, the voices are magnificent in that movie. So I really love that, and that was all about Chinese gods. Na Cha is a Chinese god. This is the creation of the gods. This is great Chinese mythology. And our buddy Ian Powers called all the major Chinese movies of the last couple of years gold-plated poop. So I was also expecting this to be gold-plated poop. To my delight, this is being done by a young director who's a Mongolian. His name is Wu Shan, which is one word, Wuershan.
Urashan.
Thank you. And we got not only is an all-around sweetheart, he knows how to pronounce things. He knows how to speak Chinese. So in any case, this guy is up and coming normally, and they've also I'm wildly excited. They released Zhu Huafeng's new movie, 100 Yards, at the Toronto Film Festival, because his last 2 movies, the Chinese Film Bureau wouldn't let released. So fine, and he's the best kung fu filmmaker of the modern age. So the fact they're allowing this guy's movie, Creation of the Gods, that has a sense of humor, that has a sense of energy, that has a sense of all sorts of action. It also has what I was talking about always, because I agree with virtually everything Jesus Christ and Bruce Lee said. And Bruce Lee always talked about it. What is the most important thing when you're doing kung fu? Emotional content.
Right.
And Creation of the Gods has got it all through. It does have, because I thought it was just going to be, again, gold-plated poop. It's got a huge cast. It has a beautiful the special effects that you were championing last time, Frank. They have that in spades as well. But they have a really good mix. This pronounce his name again for me, Frank?
Urashan.
Yeah, this guy has control. I mean, it's the best thing since Wolf Warrior 2.
What? Wow.
I mean, not from a kung fu standpoint, but
Right,
just
right.
from a director who is handling the film and is not just looking over his shoulder to make sure somebody doesn't cancel his film. So I'm not surprised. I was wondering why they released it into the theaters. Now I know. I
Wow.
can't imagine its box office did very well. I didn't check on that before I came here. But anybody who goes to see it sort of goes, wow, that's a surprise.
Nice.
It's got character. It's got character. It's got a point of view. And it's Chinese. It's all Chinese. Chinese reacting to Chinese. It's all emotional. It's all humor. It's all action. It's pretty cool.
All right.
I was surprised.
It was based on the like a novel too, 封神榜,
Yeah, and there's in the bottom right, there's Na Cha,
Yeah.
the live action Na Cha.
And supposedly, I think some of the people who worked on this, they have people who work on Lord of the Rings to help them.
That's right, they did.
Really?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
How cool is that? All right.
Yeah, and it's interesting because another hint as to what happens in China, of course, is that this gentleman, say his name again, Frank.
Wu Shan.
His last film was 2015. He did Mojin: The Last Legend, and that was a huge hit, the second highest grossing movie in Chinese box office.
That was like an adventure movie, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
of course he doesn't get to work for 7 years because that's the way it works. But it now seems like there's a different group at the Chinese Film Bureau who's not,
Okay.
As soon as someone succeeds, they don't put them in jail. You've succeeded, so we can't have that. We can't have an individual succeeding in China. So you don't get to make another film for 8 years.
Wow.
And now he's got another film. And the same thing with Zhu Huafeng. He's got a new film. So it's like, oh, we've got a chance. We've got a chance.
All right. That's good to know. It's not just mindless CGI and that's it.
Yeah,
There's actually-
one of the choreographers was Stephen A. Davis, who worked on The Hobbit and Avatar.
Ah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, again, it's like, oh, please let the Chinese filmmakers do the best they can rather than struggle against
Right.
overwhelming odds.
All right. Do you know if this is coming to Haya later or Welgo?
I don't even know if Welco released it. I think they did to the movie.
Welco released this, yes.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll come to Haya and also to Blu-ray.
All right. Awesome.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Well,
And
speaking
also-
of,
sorry.
go ahead.
I just want to point out one thing. Wandering Earth 2 is now also on Haya.
That's right.
Ah, nice. So that means we're guaranteed a Blu-ray then.
And that means we're guaranteed lots of drone shots.
Lots of things. Hopefully the Blu-ray will come out soon because I haven't seen any announcement for Wandering Earth 2 Blu-rays.
Okay. All
And
right.
we know that Welco is trying to spread
Right,
its
Yeah.
genres out.
Right.
Not just
right.
so I have to get in touch with them about the 100 yards. See
Right.
if they're gonna
Right.
pick that up.
They actually bought. I was surprised to hear that Welgo bought Koreeda's Monster in his latest film.
That's right.
So that's artsy. That's artsy stuff. So yeah.
And what is the one that you told us about last week? The invisible fight? It was called The Invisible Something, and it's a
That one from I forgot which country. It's like a Eastern European country.
it's Eastern Europe, and it's a but Kino Lorber got that. Welco
Kino
didn't
Lorber,
get that.
I think Kino got that one.
They did. So I'm
That
not
trailer
sure.
was promising. So yeah.
And that looks wild and fun. So we'll see. All right, what's
Let's
next?
see. I was trying to find the title. That's all right.
Okay,
No, that's all good.
Invisible Fight, I think it's called.
Yeah.
so now
But yeah, that looks fun. All right. Next up. Go ahead, Rick. You had something?
I wanted to put these in order. What I love about many of the films that we're doing is that they're in order. For instance, we have Day Zero,
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray.
Thanks, Johnny.
We have Day Zero, then we have One Piece, which is number one. Then we don't have a number 2 movie, but we have Equalizer 3 and Expendables 4. So I figured we'd do it in that order.
I see what you did there. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So Day Zero for us over here, it is October 1st. So October, that's right, 31 days of Halloween. We're kicking it off today with at least on this channel for the first horror movie review. I got my Blu-ray review copy here from Welgo USA. zombie action. Brandon Vera, let's talk about it. Rick, what'd you think?
Well, it is what it is. I mean, in other words, the last thing I met Brandon at the premiere in New York of Buy Bust.
Yeah.
You know, it's another Filipino movie.
That's great. A great movie. Great.
He's
movie.
my favorite character in that movie.
Yeah, it's very concentrated. It's very small budget. It's very claustrophobic, but it moves along. Has a great director. Also has, I love the way they're always casting winners of beauty pageants to play normal people, and that's the same. That's the same with Day Zero. Brandon is a guy in jail, an inmate who the movie starts establishing the germ or the virus that is creating zombies.
Yes.
So he's in jail. He's a great guy, of course, and the zombies start taking over the jail. So he has another claustrophobic labyrinth to escape from. And this is a new director. This is a different director than Buy Bust. This is Joey de Guzman. And all of them bring clever little moments, but basically it's in closed spaces, fighting constant. In other words, he's not fighting one guy. He's always fighting one guy, following another guy, another guy. And the question is he going to be overwhelmed? First, he has to get out of jail. Then he has to try to find his wife and his deaf child.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to escape from their apartment house, which is very much like a jail.
Yeah.
And as such, it is like boom, 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 boom. Brandon is not a subtle fighter. He's not a kung fu guy. He's a martial artist. He's a cage fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, he does a wonderful job. And there are some sequences. Also, this movie is 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So it moves along, but then again, it doesn't. The middle section is them establishing the wonderful relationship he has with his wife and his child, and also surprising villains, just like on all the zombie shows. It's the humans who turn out to be the worst.
Right.
Zombies are just unreasoning monsters, but the humans are like doing things for different reasons, for ego-driven reasons. So they establish all that. And again, I fast-forwarded through most of it.
Yeah.
It was good.
You've seen it before.
Yeah.
You pretty predict what's going to happen.
And once he gets out of jail, Brandon has an automatic weapon. But as the fight goes on, he loses that. Then he goes to his handgun, he loses that. Then he goes to his knife, he loses that. And then it's down to the fist and the legs.
Mm-hmm.
And that sequence is my favorite sequence in the movie.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
You watch him stripped away of everything, and then it's just his body.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, spoiler alert, and on this show there'll be spoilers.
Yeah.
I was very, very, not very, very. I wasn't even very. I was disappointed in the ending.
Yeah, me too, a little bit.
Yeah, the ending was like, given this Joey de Guzman, and I think it's either his brother or his sister or a member of his family also wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
It really should have come up, because there are very smart moments in this movie, which always, whenever there's a smart movement in a movie, and it's not just badass, it's smart ass.
Yeah.
My little head goes, ooh, it's like I get a little rush. I don't need drugs because I see something smart in the movie or I learn something. And so they're doing smart things in this movie, but at the end of the movie, it's just like, we give up. You can see the writers going, don't know. I painted myself into a corner, don't know how to get out of it.
And it's an easy fix too. Like
you would think. Did you come up with an ending you liked better?
Yes. Yes.
I did too.
Without spoiling too much.
It doesn't matter. With this movie, you can spoil it.
All right,
it's
fuck
fighting
it.
Yeah, come on.
All right, fuck it. So I just, they didn't have the balls to kill both parents of the deaf girl. Right. And what was annoying me was the continuity, because at first the wife has no weapon.
Yeah.
She has two zombies run at her, then they cut and go to another scene. And then later, when you just see her go, ah, she doesn't like prepare for fight or battle.
Yeah, I remember
and then
that.
the next time you see her, she's on the ground and there's a plank of wood with nails in her back. And I was like, well, what the hell happened? What happened? And then later she gets shot by one of the bad guys. And then later, there's no wound. She's fine. I'm like, what is going on? So I was like, okay, they don't have the balls to kill off both parents, because later Brandon's character gets bit, and I'm just kind of like, look, all right, you don't have the balls to kill both parents. You want one parent to live, fine, but don't waste our time, with the mom like faking us out twice. And then at the end, I was like, come on, if you're gonna have Brandon die, don't let him go out like a bitch, man. Like I wanted him to go, he said his goodbyes to his daughter, and right? And I wanted them to like strap up with some bombs and go face first, and like, dude, go out heroically, not just I'm just gonna sit there and pull out the picture
and turn into a zombie.
I'm gonna just sit there and pull out the picture of the drawing my daughter drew for me with crayons, and then zombie eyes, and that's the end. I was just and
it's like, oh man, that is unsatisfying.
Like, dude, come on.
See, my attitude
so
is
easy.
This is a Filipino zombie movie. They're among dozens, if not hundreds, of other zombie movies.
Yeah.
Do what the F you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to live up. The zombie film committee is not going to come up to go, and you have to follow the rules of the zombie movies. No, man. Don't kill any of the parents.
Right.
Make them blessed. Make the whole. I mean, I would have gone crazy because, again, they don't have the money. But I would have gone, fuck it. These guys are blessed. Period. Everybody else dies. They don't die. And near the end, you can kind of see. I mean, it would be great. I would do something like this. The wife would start praying. She would start praying. And then really fucked up stuff would happen. I mean, she'd turn around, her elbow would hit a bar, the bar would come down, it would hit something else, it would throw it onto something else, and then whatever happened, it would kill a zombie.
Right.
And she would just go, but that would keep happening.
Right.
And then, so at the end, they get to go. And also, they didn't give them an escape hatch anyway. And I said they should have done the Dawn of the Dead routine, which is let them get on a helicopter and fly away.
Yeah.
End it that way.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still worth seeing it for the fights.
And the chief character who ends up going bad later because evil. When did his son get bit? When did that happen?
Yeah. I think the movie was originally 90 minutes and they just cut out 8 minutes because Because again, they gave up.
Right. Yeah. But the good news is, guys, there is some cool action set pieces, some gunplay. I mean, some fisticuffs, and a lot of good violence, some good gore effects, and you get to see Brandon German suplex a zombie. So there's some positives to the movie.
My favorite moment in the movie is he's got a gun, and he has an automatic, and he has to hit the bolt, but a zombie is bitten on it, so he uses the zombie as the way to do it. The zombie has his teeth on it.
Right.
There's some really cute stuff like that.
Yeah. The positive is I've seen way worse zombies than this. Zombie movies than this. So there's some fun to be had.
High praise indeed.
Yeah. All right.
So
next up,
from 0 to 1.
Yeah. One Piece.
One Piece.
Rick, how has the show been coming along?
This is what I've talked about several times on this show. You need the authorial voice. They have the creator of One Piece as not a showrunner, but as a devoted consultant. And whatever he says goes, because this is made in, I think, South Africa and Australia by some people who have not done really great work until this. They also seem to have a lot of money. And also they have One Piece, of course, has, I think, 500 episodes of the television show. I think more than a dozen movies.
I thought it was like 1,000. But
yeah, it's something like that. It's something outrageous.
Right.
But the great thing about this live action one, because normally, like when they made Cowboy Bebop in live action, it was like, why are you making Cowboy Bebop in live action? It's not necessary.
Exactly.
What's great about One Piece, in addition to being done well and smartly, is that it brings you back to the beginning. Because my nephew and my dear friends, the Robs, have loved One Piece from the outset. But I stuck with kung fu movies. I didn't stick with manga and anime. So this live action version allows me to go back to the beginning. And basically, they take the first, whatever, 50 or 100 episodes and they condense it into the episodes that are on Netflix. And it is surprisingly good. And even people who know One Piece and have seen more One Piece than I have say, yeah, it's surprisingly good. And there's a lot of different action styles. There's legitimate action styles, mostly Japanese, of course. So there's sword work, there's Japanese martial arts. But because this is also a fantasy, an alternate universe, if anybody knows the leading character, Luffy, he's rubber. You shoot him and it bounces out of him. And they have a lot of characters who have powers. So it's a combination of a lot of different things. It's very colorful. It's very entertaining. Unfortunately, it in the second and third episode drags things out a little bit. We'll get into that problem with Ahsoka as well. But once you get through the second and third episode, man, nice. So entertaining. You know, I did a lot of, when you come back to me, I'll show you what I did a lot of. And I did a lot of this. Now go back to that picture again, because you know who that is?
Yes, Sonny Chiba's son.
That's Sonny Chiba's son, Shinichi Chiba's son, who
Yes.
plays the samurai type character.
Is it pronounced Makanyu?
Go to the pronouncer.
Frank?
Well, how do you spell that?
How do you spell his name?
I'd have to look it up.
All right. Well, you can look it up later, and we can have, and you could record that when you go see Expendables 4. You can also record how to pronounce that guy's name.
No, I got it. Hold on. Let me get it. Almost. There you go. Makkenyu.
That's not a Japanese name,
Makanyu?
Well, that's his name. He is Japanese, although you never know who his mother was.
Japanese, but
Well, I think he changed his name several times. So
it could be his stage name.
Well, I'm sure he's great. I'm sure he's amazing.
Oh, you mean his son? Is that his son's name?
That's
that's
Shinichi Chiba's son.
Oh,
that's his son.
Okay. Makenyu Arata. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Nice. There you go.
There you got it.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So it's good.
Yeah, well worth seeing.
Nice.
No.
But yeah, I did hear that before you said anything, Rick, that the creator was involved. It was like, you think that would be a natural thing?
It's one of those things. I mean,
involved.
that's where Game of Thrones went wrong, because they didn't listen to George R.
There we go.
Here they listen to everything this guy says.
All right. Next up from Anton Fuqua, we have Equalizer 3.
Denzel.
And I had a blast putting together a video with a whole bunch of awesome martial artists, stuntmen, and filmmakers, and they gave their opinion on Equalizer 3, and I put it all together. It's a great collage video. Check it out. But I still haven't seen it yet. But Frank's
did you already
here,
put it? Is it already up on your channel?
Yeah, it's been there.
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know
he originally asked me to do it, but then I said I couldn't do it because I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've seen the movie now, haven't you?
I've seen this, so I can actually talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, so talk about it.
So in some way, this movie
think?
actually doesn't belong here because it's not really an action film. Maybe like 5% action. But I mean, look. I mean, it's more like a mafia drama that kind of gradually turns into kind of like a slasher movie. But I liked it. I mean, it started out with a strong opening sequence. And I'm pretty sure, and I mean, you can tell right away from the opening, this film is like a love letter to spaghetti westerns. Okay,
All right.
Yeah, it totally reminds me of Sergio Leone films. I'm sure Antoine is a huge western fan. You have this gorgeous southern Italy seaside town scenery, so it makes you feel like you're watching like an Italian movie, and it's just worth seeing it for that alone. It makes me want to fly there and just pinch someone's medium nerve to a level 5 right now.
Well, you see, that's the point, Frank. My definition of action movies, even my definition of kung fu movies, it doesn't involve a lot of fighting. I mean, my favorite kung fu moment in the original Doctor Strange was, "Hey, Dormammu, I've come to bargain." And I went, "That's kung fu. That's kung fu." And that's what Denzel does. He does practical fighting. He's not trying to show how badass he is. He takes the nerves and he goes to the median 5, as you said. I mean, does he do that throughout the whole movie, or is it just in that one scene?
That one scene. I mean, but no, he was he was cool. He was calm, always in control.
Yeah.
And again, and another great thing about the movie is nice to see him reunite with Dakota Fanning, who of course was still a kid when she started Denzel Man on Fire. And I really like the dynamic, between McCall, Denzel character and her character, CIA agent. It almost like a little bit of Hannibal Lecter and Clarice, from Silence of the Lambs too. But then it would have nice to see more of that interaction because they were really good together in the movie. But of course, it's definitely driven by Denzel's presence. He doesn't even have to talk in the scene. He can just convey so much with his looks, his body language. And I like all these warning lines, when he confronts the bad guy who gives him warning lines because I'm warning you or I'm preparing all that stuff. Because that's fun because he's gonna back it all up, right?
Yeah.
And then I like how nothing was held back when it comes to all the kills, which are actually pretty brutal stuff,
Yeah. All right.
That's what I meant by the climax. And climax is actually like a horror movie. He makes his opponents afraid, and then he just comes out of the shadow and literally slaughters them, picks them off one by one, and then it's like a slasher movie, which is great. I'm not criticizing it.
Except he's the hero, so it's not a slasher movie. Slasher has the villain killing people. This is a hero killing people who deserve to be killed. So it's not a slasher or a horror movie.
So Frank, he's using stealth.
He's stealth, exactly.
Okay.
Comes from behind, all that stuff. Yeah.
He's not being stupid.
Yes.
He's being very smart. So that means it's a great kung fu movie, people. And it's not a horror film. It's not a slasher film.
No, I agree. In that way, it is kind of like a kung fu master.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, but the final kill, well, of course, I'm not going to spoil it, but
the
final kill was a logical but unexpected surprise. And I kind of liked it too. It's actually very, it fits the theme. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Nice.
And also, smart ass.
Yeah, exactly. Authority. And I also like how it wasn't revealed why he's in Italy. Because, if you've seen the first two movies, he's not in Italy. Like, he didn't go to Italy. But then, the film, the entire film was, set in Italy. And it didn't reveal why he's in Italy until the very end, using the previous two movies' premise of him helping strangers and explain why he ended up in Sicily and why he's reaching out to Dakota Fanning's character. And I think that the movie spends so much time making you hate the bad guys. So by the time Denzel slices and dices them, you're enjoying it. You're really enjoying it. Good.
I love that. I love that
shit. Now, my main issue with the film was it spent so much time on the first villain. There's actually more than one villain in this film, by the way.
Right.
The film spends so much time on the first villain and how nasty he is so well. Depicting how nasty the first villain is, leading to that great confrontation scene at the restaurant, with the medium nerve thing, and then the alley with the SUV, great stuff, that there wasn't enough time to do the same to the second villain, which actually is the more important character.
That was the problem I had with Casino Royale, too. We're having a lot of problem with modern films when they put one too many, and they also use one too many villains anyway. That was my problem with Batman Returns.
Right.
You don't need a second villain. You just need Catwoman.
Exactly. Had they just devoted entire time to just one villain guy in the first guy, and I think that would have been enough. Still, look, I have a great time. I love the leisurely pace. It's almost like it's made for people like us. You know what I mean? It's not made for teens. And again,
you mean old people? Old people?
Old people. No, I'm serious. Old people.
People with a beard this long.
Appreciate. It's like
your beard must be this long to enter the cinema.
Yeah, exactly. No. I like the fact that I like the fact that it was targeting at a mature audience.
Right.
I love that. Like I said, I love the leisurely pace, slow build. I like the slow build. It's almost like like a real life bully constantly picking on somebody, and then that somebody finally had enough and explodes.
Right.
And also, I like the fact that it does not fall victim to the idea that because it's supposed to be the last movie, you have to die. You have to kill him off.
Right.
You have to kill the lead off and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay. So I think it's a good conclusion to the Equalizer series if this indeed will be the last. So,
all right.
That was my big problem with Man on Fire. I didn't think there's no way they should have let him die, especially the way he does. Because again, this is kind of like him taking revenge on that, going, no, I never should have had that bomb up my butt.
Yeah. But I'll say this, I said, even though this is not technically an action film, this will be on my top 10.
Nice.
Well, then it is technically an action film.
Okay.
I mean, how do you judge action films? Does it have to take up a certain amount of screen time? No, it does not.
But I just want people to know that if you're expecting car chases and stuff, no.
then you
Right.
then you're if you go into a movie expecting anything except what I'm about to do, talking about Expendables 4 next or Expendable 4. Yeah, if you again, that's what I was saying. You shouldn't go to a movie expecting anything except Expendables 4. You should.
All
Are,
right. Well,
are,
look
are
at
you
the
finished?
segue
So
then.
much I actually canceled my tickets to see Expendables 4.
You know, when I did my trailer reaction to the movie, I was like trying so hard to be positive. I was trying, and then I was just
No.
like, "Oh, Jesus, that green screen looks horrible." Well, anyway, we're gonna get into it right now.
Look at
Not only that, the
I
moment
look
I saw that Megan Fox thing, it's like, oh no.
yeah, and the moment I saw who directed it, I sort of went. I didn't say, "Oh no," I just instantly changed my attitude.
Expectations.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you know who directed it?
Yeah, Scott Waugh, right?
Scott Waugh. And you know what else he directed?
Hidden Strike.
What is it? Hidden Strike,
Yeah,
the Jackie Chan John Cena movie.
Oh boy.
another movie surrounded by green screen, but yeah.
Yeah, which I thoroughly enjoyed for what it was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so when my biggest concern when I heard that it was a Jason Statham movie, I went, awesome. Because Statham is like Vincent Zhao. He almost never lets his work get diluted. He doesn't care about anything else. He just, when you put the camera on him and he gets a fight, he's not going to sleep through the fight.
Mhm.
He's going to do what he's going to do what he knows what to do, and he knows martial arts. And also, he has a great character. And a lot of other actors, B movie action actors, and I think
Mhm.
he's B plus, if not A minus at this point.
Mhm.
They just sort of let things happen. He says, no, it has to be up to my level, And
He's the best thing about the Mac 2, too,
yeah. So that's right. Well, I love Wu Jing, but they're not going to let him do anything.
They didn't let him fight. I mean, come
No,
on.
they didn't let him fight. It's like that's what I felt about Wandering Earth too, for heaven's sakes. But in any case, but Scott Waugh, so you should know already the quality of the film you're about to see, and don't go in going, "Oh, I thought this would be better." If I was with you in the theater at that point, I would have looked at you. Why did you think this would be better?
Yeah.
Enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. It was kind of like, and also it was. I'm pretty sure they did it in Hungary.
Okay.
States was good, but the movie's a mess. Of course, the movie's a mess. But it's the choreographers were Rock Svetkov, who did Jack Ryan, and Vlasto Ivanovic. Those were the stunt directors.
I thought there was some Hong Kong people involved too, though.
There were, but not in the not. They're not lit. Well, they might have been, but they didn't get on the credits.
Okay.
But even so, and also, I think they saw what was happening. Went, oh, you don't need us.
Oh no! Right. Oh, they saw what happened. It's like, don't credit us.
Yeah, don't credit us. We didn't work on this. We were never here.
So Rick,
Yeah.
I heard, maybe you can confirm this, but I
Yeah.
heard that Stallone started making this movie, and then there was creative differences, and Stallone said, "I'm out," and they had to bullshit the script just to have him show up later. Is that true?
That's not what I heard.
Okay.
What I heard was he sort of looked at what was going on and going, do I want to spend 2 months in Hungary? No. It's the, and also he's in his 70s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Blade. It's not really. It is that bad, but it's not that bad if you're expecting it to be what it is. If you're expecting it to be great, you're deluded. You come to the wrong film. And this is number 4.
Yes. Expend4bles.
And 9 years after the third film, too.
And you also notice that Stallone is second. So Stallone just came in as a favor, and he probably was given a very nice payday, but he's not going to expend himself. Lundgren, Dolph is always in there to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun. I was unhappy that Iko and
Tony. Iko and
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony were villains. I said that was crap. The Asians should have been heroes. But again, they needed a villain or whatever. And again, yeah, just like that's it's okay. Don't go to the movies to see it, although you may be going, Frank.
Yeah, matinee
wait,
Tuesday.
wait for it shows up on streaming and just fast forward to the fights.
How was
See-
trans character, Rick?
Which one's trans?
The
Girl.
female right there. How was she in the movie in terms of action?
No, I didn't even notice it.
Okay.
Wow.
Because it was weird, because when I did the trailer reaction, a lot of people in the comments was like, Tran. Like, they were all like, Samurai Guy, you don't know who that is? She's amazing. She's badass. She's all this. And I was like, I don't know who she is. So I was looking forward to having her, to see her in action. But if she's not impressive to you, then
I think I'm friends with her on Facebook.
okay. I'm sure she's
And
cool and awesome in real life, but they didn't really, did they have her do anything of note worthy or?
well, nobody does anything of note.
Frank, I don't know if you want to see this matinee price right now. I don't know, man.
Well, Frank may complete. Well, Frank and I are getting to a point now where we almost completely disagree on virtually every movie we see. It's kind of like, oh,
Well, we
that
agree
was
on
great.
Equalizer 3 just now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I like, but I like.
So I have to ask Rick.
Yeah.
Did they do Eco dirty, and was he yet again wasted at another movie over here?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And Tony too, right? Tony
And
Jaa
Tony
also
too.
plays it.
Sure. Yeah. They did what they did
This is getting exhausting.
It's like, why you cast these people and don't do anything with them? You know what I mean?
because of standard operating racism.
Mm.
Pure and simple. That's why they're villains. That's why they're denigrated. That's why they're not allowed to do what they can do. Because this is another one of those chop socky sueys, which is a bunch of white people trying to do something. Their attitude seems to be, well, this audience will accept whatever shit we give them. So let's not try very hard.
Gotcha.
So just like
Yeah.
Jet Li and Lethal Weapon 4 all over again.
Jet Li in Mulan.
Mm.
I mean, that was Jet Li was willing to be
Right.
catatonic in Mulan.
Right.
Donnie Yen just said, "I'm going to do my one scene and then I'll be catatonic." And the same thing was the magnificent woman who was in the live action Mulan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But not because I've seen. Yeah, there you go. I might have tolerated. There you go. Blade knows more than I do about this. But it is what it is. It's a streaming movie in the movie theaters because they think
Gotcha.
they can make some money because they have no respect for their audience.
Will there be a Expend4bles?
If it makes money, yes. If it doesn't, no.
Expendables.
Expend4bles. All right.
Very
I'm glad
simple.
I dodged another bullet this year. Okay. I'll watch it later when it's for free.
Exactly.
You know, we'll watch it. It's just
Yeah.
For free, and then I'll talk about
either
it.
for
All
free
right.
or at home,
Yeah, at home. At home. All right. Now, this next one, Gran Turismo, and we know our video game movie track record we got going on here is not that great, but it's usually hit or miss. But Neil Blomkamp did this.
I know.
I was like, what?
District 9.
And I saw
from District 9 to Elysium to a possible Alien movie to this.
it's so strange. But here's the thing. I saw the commercial advertisement where it was like throwback to the 90s where people were coming out of the movie and they were like just straight up jizzing over it. They were like, what did you think about the movie? It was the greatest film I've ever seen in my life. Right. I was just like, and I started laughing. I was like, okay, this is some bullshit.
That's been happening. That's been happening since the Flash.
Yeah, I was like,
right.
There's no way this movie's that good. But then I heard some other review or like takes, not full reviews, but like takes on people that I usually trust.
Yeah.
And they liked the movie. And I was
It's a good movie.
Wow, really? So
it's a racing movie.
Okay.
Based on a legitimate true story. If anybody goes into thinking it's a video game movie, it's not really. But it's the true story of a video gamer of that game.
Right.
Who has the opportunity to become an actual racer.
Right.
And racing movies have not, I'm very surprised that this was made because racing movies have not done well. I can't think of the last financially successful racing movie.
Well,
this is
Ford versus Ferrari, maybe.
What about Rush?
No, that didn't. That was surprisingly soft, and the same thing with Rush.
Oh,
Those
okay.
both had soft. They were good movies. Those were well reviewed. But
Okay.
the reviews didn't turn into boffo
Gotcha.
box office.
Gotcha.
I think they broke even or made a small profit, but that's all.
Right.
And this
right.
one, it's got a good cast. It's got a good director. I mean, you notice the guy. Orlando Bloom is back.
You have Legolas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Legolas is back, and
David Harbour, yeah.
David Harbour, and it's a good racing movie. But it is a true story. And the thing that I enjoyed about it the most is the person who that kid is playing is actually his stand-in. He did all the stunts for the actual guy who the movie is about, is doing the stunts.
That's
and
impressive.
doing the racing.
Yeah.
It's
So how is the racing sequence?
It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
Nice.
You know, the video gaming content is video gaming, but the action in the movie is real on real tracks and real cars.
All right.
I mean, it's not as good as the Lost Bullet.
Not CG enhanced.
Huh?
Nice. Good.
Not CG
Okay.
enhanced.
What, CGNS?
No,
Enhanced.
not CG enhanced. The race.
He says
Oh,
not.
it could have
Oh.
been,
Okay.
but
Maybe.
it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was valid. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. It's not a bad movie. I mean,
Is it
again,
is it a great video game movie?
No,
Okay.
because it's
I
not a
mean-
video game movie. It's not a video game movie. It's a racing movie.
Would you say?
Okay.
Would you say this is a teen-oriented movie?
No,
No.
Really?
no,
Really?
it's a race car.
Okay.
Are teens really
So-
into racing?
Well, these kids look young. I mean,
Well, if it's Fast and
Well, the
Furious.
kid is,
Yeah.
and the other, but you know, the major stars, Harbour and Bloom, are not
I know.
kids.
I'm just saying that, like when you watch a trailer, it's almost like this is like almost like a youth kind of movie. You know, like,
Well, they may be trying to sell it there. I'll be curious. Has anybody? I don't know what it did its first weekend. I didn't do that research today.
Okay.
But be that as it may, it's still a good movie. It's
I
just
just-
not.
I know, but I just like I said earlier, I just feel bad to see Neil Blomkamp. You know, such a great. I mean, started out with such a strong sci-fi stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah.
This
Well,
might be
this-
his like biggest success in a while.
Well, we'll
By
see. But
default, right, Frank?
Since Chappie.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chappie.
Yeah,
It
Chappie Bomb,
doesn't denigrate him. I
Right.
mean, he's on the same level as far as I'm concerned with Antoine Fuqua. And as such, they're both doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well, Frank, maybe this movie will get him back, get his foot in the door, back on track, and then he'll go back to sci-fi later.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hollywood will
Well,
have faith in him again.
whatever
know?
he wants to do. But he doesn't have to work in Hollywood. Most of these movies are not being made in Hollywood, especially now
Right.
during the strike and before during the strike. The reason they were finished is that they were being filmed in South Africa or Australia or
Gotcha.
Hungary.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. We got a super chat. Thank you so much, Pat the Fitsit. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks,
much for
man.
the super chat. The only thing I liked about Expendables 4 was the tease of Jason and his transporter suit. Really? They had that
Yeah.
in the movie?
They had that.
Oh, okay. I would have got a kick out of that. All right. So it looks like is it worth paying to see in the theater or wait till streaming?
If you love racing, it's
Okay.
worth seeing in the theater. But
It's just-
otherwise, what are you going for?
I'm sure it is actually.
Yeah.
All right. Now it is time for some we're going to segue back to sci-fi now. That's right. Neil Blomkamp talking now some real sci-fi. The creator, and I felt bad, Frank, when I saw the trailer for this because it visually looked really good, and I was like, man, the track record of sci-fi that's not a part of a popular IP or franchise usually financially doesn't like make gangbusters.
Right.
And I was like, man, I mean, if it was, I'm thinking on because I haven't seen it yet, so I'm like, man, if this is a great movie, I don't know if it's going to do well, but it might. But Frank, tell us about the creator. What do you think about it?
Look, I've mentioned it. many-
Look, that's a good start.
He's serious
Look.
now,
No,
son.
I'm serious.
Look,
No, I'm
He's
serious.
serious.
No, I mean, I've said it before. I've always been a big fan of original sci-fi, and I always been supportive of original sci-fi.
Yes.
The last original sci-fi film, if I remember correctly, was Tenet, I think. And I mean, maybe there were others, but I can't.
I think there were others. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
maybe. But Tenet was like the big original sci-fi film that we had last time. So they don't come around often, obviously. And I'm a sucker I'm a sucker for fully realized world that's committed to fully, and this was definitely
Dune.
Well, Doom is not original sci-fi though. Doom was
It's based on
a
a
book.
yeah, it's based on a book. Oh, I see what you're saying about original sci-fi.
Yeah, original meaning not from any other source. Right.
Gotcha.
Okay, so anyway, so this was, and I saw this in IMAX. So this was the ultra epic, ultra wide, shot in like 2.761 aspect ratio, cinerama like presentation. The last time they had that aspect ratio was the Hateful Eight. So I mean, so the scope itself was like pretty epic right there. I'll say right now, okay. I would not be surprised if this film would be my number 1 on top 10 at the end of the year.
Wow.
Now it has its flaws. It has its flaws, okay, and I'll point out the flaws, okay.
Okay.
And it hurts me to point out the flaw because again, I admire this film so much that I'm being very picky about it.
Okay.
So anyway, amazing visuals, amazing art direction, amazing production design, incredible sound mix. I mean, I haven't heard such a great sound mix in theater in years. I mean, it's amazing. Wonderful world building. Again, world building plays a big part in my appreciation of original sci-fi. I think Gareth Edwards did a great job in the world building. I absolutely love the design of the AI, the vehicles, and all the machines. But again, it's not, I mean, even though it is original sci-fi, of course, the inspiration was not original, right? It's, like Blade Runner meets Akira, meets Star Wars, meets Lone Wolf and Cub, with an extra flavor of Scorsese Conundrum, because there were scenes that were actually shot in Nepal. I was amazed that they actually went to Nepal to shoot it when I saw the credit. They show all the countries they went. They went to like tons of countries, Thailand, Japan, all that. And Nepal was one of them. So they actually shot part of the film in Nepal. So not completely original, but again, Edwards combined those influences pretty well. Now, and also have a little bit of a Terrence Malick too. Again, I'm a big fan of Terrence Malick, because you have John David Washington's character, which was Denzel Washington's son. He's haunted by his memory. You have this. You always have dreams about the future with his wife and stuff, and then you hear the music and the voiceovers are very Terrence Malick. Again, I kind of like stuff like that, and I love the Apocalypse Now vibe. I mean, the film, there were scenes that were like straight out of Apocalypse Now. I like the references. One of the characters actually just said the line, "Bringing the cavalry." I was like, wow. Asia setting. A majority of the film was set in Asia. And also the fact that most of the actors are not familiar faces. And I think that played a lot in making you believe this world. Because, when you have familiar actors, it took you out of the world right away. Like, the Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? So you have characters played by actors that you hardly seen them before. So I think that helps a lot in getting this world more believable. And again, unlike 98% of everything else made, this is a self-contained story. There won't be a sequel. There might be a sequel it is debatable.
Is a sequel needed then?
What was that?
Is a sequel needed, or you like the way it?
I like the way it ends.
Okay.
I like the way it ends, but although I like the way it ends, I would like to see what happens afterwards. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
So, but then it's its own full story. I like that, and I love the Evangelion-ness feel of it because the film is divided into chapters. So every chapter starts with these words, like these font. They were like it's straight out Evangelion, So again, anime influence and stuff. And the girl was amazing, fucking amazing. The girl that played that little girl,
right? Okay,
she killed it. Yeah, I agree. It's not needed. Yes, I mean a sequel would be nice, but it's not needed. So, but I mean, this was her first ever movie, and she did an amazing job. She stole the show. Definitely stole the show. And then there's also Allison Janney, who played the kind of like the villain of the film. And it's nice to have, somebody who usually don't play a villain. And also, again, like Avatar, you have the U.S. military as kind of the enemy in this film and stuff. Now, here comes the flaws, okay? Okay.
I think it already sounds like you gave all the flaws. This whole movie is made out of parts of other movies.
True. But the world building, the art and stuff, I mean, so supposedly the film was shot with $80 million budget. I was told by FJ, of course, our good friend FJ, who has a lot of Hollywood inside information. He said, well, it's actually more like 120 million, but still it looked pretty cheap. 10 times better than a Marvel movie. Okay, right. Good. And like 1/3 the budget. Okay. So now, but again, here comes a flaw. The third act was a bit rushed. The final, 20-30 minutes felt super rushed, kind of predictable. And then as a result, whatever emotion you try to convey became kind of forced. if that last 30 minutes was done as well as whatever that came before, this would have been a classic. This would have been a very, like it would have been on, a film that people would still talk about like 10, 20 years down the road. Now, I wonder if it was forced to be trimmed for length by Fox or Disney, what have you. And I would love to see a director's cut.
Okay.
Again, Garrett Edwards, there's a lot of Rogue One in this film. Of course, he did Rogue One.
Right.
And some of the money shots even came straight out of Rogue One. You have that huge machine in the sky. It's like Death Star and like whatever machine that you saw in Rogue One. But again, I wish the script was stronger. It talks about how AI was like everyone's the next. It talks about AI being the next step in evolution. But then then it didn't really go further into it. Like you said, AI wants to be free. But they were kind of, just the fact that you're having AI saying we want to be free or it will be free. I mean, that's not enough. You need to spend more time showing us why AI wants to be free, like their struggle. I don't see the movie depicting a lot of the struggle. They want to be free, but the point is not very convincing because not enough. It's just saying it is not enough. Okay, and I think the one thing that I feel the film didn't really explore enough was the both sides of the evolution, like human versus evolution versus the conflict with the AI. I think that would make the film much more deeper and philosophical. And it just kind of bogs down to the human being the bad guy, say we have to kill them before the AI kill us. So it's kind of like a disservice to this idea, so to speak.
How was Ken in the movie?
Ken is a secondary character. He was good as always. He has about 10-15 minutes screen. I mean, he's a crucial character too, but
small part,
but he's great. I mean, he's great as always, you know. And he was the one that kind of again talks about the war. He was like, I would have liked it. He mentioned what actually caused the war. Okay, so I would have liked it if a movie just went more into why it started, because he talked about who actually started it. But then it was and then he revealed what caused it. But then why don't you just have the war started by the bad guys? Why give us a cause? Like it's almost like, it's like don't give an excuse as to the war not being intentional. Why can't you make the war be intentional? Just like it's like Hitler, like fuck it, I'm gonna invade Poland. Like why not? Like fuck it, I'm gonna kill all the AI. I'm gonna end this AI thing and stop the war. So and if it, like I said again. If it wasn't for the rushed third act, this could have been an incredible movie. And it's the same, it's the same criticism. Like what I don't like about his Godzilla, his film Godzilla,
right? Yeah,
was in the finale when when the fight between the two monsters was what matters the most. He always pulls away. He cuts to the actors in the middle of the action, and then it makes the action drag it out. It became frustrating to watch. Here it's like the opposite, especially in the last 30 minutes. It's like boom, 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 boom. We gotta finish this now. Boom, 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 boom. I think he needs to work with a good script or good screenwriter.
Everyone does.
Everyone does, of course.
Yeah.
And I supposedly like Rogue One, the main reason why they have Gilroy comes in and fix it was because the original ending has Jyn Erso becoming an Empire officer. I mean, that's what I heard.
What the?
Yeah.
Wow.
So in the end, it wasn't the everybody dies scenario. It was that Jyn Erso turned. And I think Disney was so shocked by that they say they let him go, whatever. But I mean, but behind the scenes stuff, they let him go, and then they have Gilroy comes in and fix it. So now we have the everybody dies ending. So again, I mean, like I criticize this so much because I want this film to succeed. I want this film to do well. And again, like I said, this will be right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this will be my number one in the top 10 list.
Nice.
With all the flaws.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't my number one. Because you just basically gave a definition of a movie. If the ending isn't good for me, I don't care what the rest of it's like.
No. The ending was fine. A bit predictable.
It's just rushed. A little rushed. Okay.
Other people I know have talked about it, but anyway, we'll see.
Well, I have a question.
See what happens.
I have a question, Frank. I have a question for the teacher. I have a question.
For the sweetheart.
Would the for the sweetheart would the Expend4bles Fast and Furious crowd like this movie?
No. This is not an action film. This is a war film.
Okay.
This is a war. I mean, there's a whole sequence about 2/3 into the film. Again, that's like Apocalypse Now. It
Okay.
feels just like Apocalypse Now, which is great. Because I'm a big
Okay.
fan of Apocalypse Now, so which is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
And the fact that he shot it in actual location just make everything much more realistic. Like other film, like again, you watch his film, okay? You go see this film and then you watch like Marvel CG. It's like Marvel CGI is a garbage compared to this. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so real, and it's the way he shot it, because he shot them in real location and then he put the CGI on it. It's the opposite of like the kind of movies that Marvel, the kind of CG that Marvel does.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
totally opposite. So everything is based on an actual realistic scratch
All
the
right.
itch. It did scratch the itch, yes.
Okay.
Because
Scratch the
we don't
sci-fi
have-
itch.
Yeah, it did scratch the itch, especially now that we don't get the Doom until next year. So until then, this was it. Right? No more
Okay.
sci-fi film until like Aquaman. Come on.
Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Uh-oh.
The weekend box office is in.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. Paw Patrol is number 1.
Fuck Paw Patrol.
Well, no.
Oh, that hurts.
It did better. It did better than the creator, dear. So don't fuck it. It served its audience far better than the creator did.
Yes. No.
Saw X was number 2.
2. Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So we'll see. We'll see what it does next week, because basically Elemental, which was number 3 its first weekend, became number 1 its second weekend because the word went out.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, the word of mouth I've heard on the creator, other than you, Frank, does not. No one else has spoke as highly of the movie as you have.
Well, I spoke of it highly from a technical point of view too.
I'm well aware of that.
Right.
Right.
And that's my least. I expect great technical stuff because crews are always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Writers, directors, actors, not as much. So in any case, we'll see how it does.
I think it's also got hurt by the strike because they can't promote the film. Remember at Comic-Con, they couldn't go and promote the film, and then
That's right.
Because originally they're gonna have this big ass panel about the creator, and in the end, only Edwards were able to turn up. So.
But as but he was a major cog in that. But be that as it may, my attitude is a movie does not succeed on any other basis but the audience.
Yeah.
And it's the audience who goes to see it the first weekend and tells their friends, you've got to see this, that makes it work the second week. The rest of it is just all fluff and standard operating procedure. I mean, every single movie that comes out now has rapturous reviews. I mean, you sent me the first word that came out from the theater, and I'm saying, well, I don't pay any attention to that because they're basically paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, but on the basis of what you've told me, I'm sort of like going, oh dear. But we'll see what happens.
And so I'm kind of like serving as the fan who said you got to go see it because of the reason I stated,
right.
and also like I said, this is a flawed film. It's not a perfect film. It's not a class.
So I don't go to the movies for the technical.
Right.
But then when I go to a restaurant, I expect a seat, a table, a fork, and a knife. So the fact that the forks and the knives and the tables and the chairs are awesome, is not as important to me as the effing food.
I understand.
Frank, are you excited for Rebel Moon?
Rebel Moon, no.
Why?
Rebel Moon. Oh, I know Rebel Moon, but isn't that on Netflix though? It's not going to come out in theaters, right? I mean,
it's on Netflix. I'm just saying it's a sci-fi movie.
No, I'm just joking. No, I'm very looking much forward to Rebel Moon. But I'm just talking about in terms of film.
Gotcha.
Now I'll say one last thing about the creator because I gotta go. I'll say one last thing about.
That's right. You got to go.
Again, one thing that makes me appreciate this film, is again, like you can sense the dedication of the filmmakers, no doubt about it. There's a scene where, John David Washington and the girl was walking on the street, and you can clearly tell that was Shibuya. They shot that scene in Shibuya, Tokyo, and that was just one scene. That's it. Like they crossed the street, they saw billboards saying that they're being wanted and stuff. That's it. It's like they could have done that scene anywhere else. They could have done that scene, in whatever country they were shooting, like in Bangkok or whatever. They went to Shibuya, they went to Tokyo just to shoot that one scene of them crossing Shibuya, so that it again, so that created this vibe, this, it completes that the new Asian vibe of the film. It just enhanced that so much, and that's dedication. To me, that's dedication.
Well, to me, that's the producer wanting to vacation in Japan. Just like Equalizer 3 went to Italy, so the producers and the director can go and visit Italy.
No, not the producer. The director wanted to go there because
the director does not control the movie. The production, the studio, and the producers control the movie. If he says, "I want to go to Japan," and they say no, he doesn't go to Japan. So, just understand that. That's awesome that you saw that as a positive. Yeah, knowing how Hollywood works,
right?
That's not why they went there.
Because I read an interview of him, and he explained why. One of the reasons he was able to do this film as it was.
Okay,
it's actually much cheaper for him to travel to a different country to shoot these scenes and then add the CG than having that entire thing.
Smart.
Build a set or do a CG set, whatever. Yeah. This is actually a much cheaper way just to fly a crew there. He said he was using light camera. He's using very light camera to shoot them. So basically, you have a minimal skeletal crew with the two actors. They flew to Shibuya, shot that scene, and it looks like $1 million. That shot looks like $1 million. Okay, but then it's probably like 10 times cheaper than had they done it in a set or what have you. So
again, it's the argument I always have between eye candy and mind candy. If there's a lot of eye candy, that's fine. If it's not combined with mind candy, I don't care.
Okay. Is there a little bit of mind candy there, Frank?
Well, yeah. I mean, the concept is good. I'm waiting to see, because again, they chose a subject that gives a writer and a creator no way to get out of it. They're painted into a corner at the very beginning because of the concept. I mean, it's the same thing that I've had all along with guys who create these ideas. And I said, how can you develop that idea? You can't. You'll always come to a dead end.
Yeah, and also, I'm not sure whether this is the right time to release a pro AI film. This is a pro
exactly. Yeah,
so anti AI. This is the exact opposite of like Terminator. This is pro AI. So yeah.
So I'm sure it's very beautiful, but so what?
But still, guys, I mean, please support original sci-fi. At least go see it, matinee, what have you. Go see it, and go see it in that as largest screen as possible. This film just looks great.
Well, Frank, I got you here really quick before you go.
Okay.
How many thumbs? 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up for the creator.
Oh yeah, you already heard it. 1 thumb, 2 thumbs up. 3 thumbs up.
Show it.
He's going to develop three thumbs just
thumbs.
to put them up.
There you go.
2 thumbs up. Definitely. I mean, look. I mean, with all the flaws, I still highly recommend it. I mean,
copy that. All right. Hey, thank you for being here, brother. I know you got
Thank you, buddy.
You got things to do.
Hopefully, we'll see you
until next time, man.
Until next time.
Some more. We'll talk some westerns there.
Sure.
Frank,
yes.
And sci-fi. In the future.
Peace.
All right. Follow Frank. Links in the description box below. Follow Frank on his filmmaking journey and a lot more. Take care, brother. See you on the next one.
See you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I thought he'd never leave. Anyway.
All right.
No, Frank is absolutely awesome, but man, his crutch it's the same thing with Wandering Earth too. It's just because it's beautiful, he loves it, and that's fine. But I see a beautiful person or a beautiful woman, and if their mind is rotten and their personality is terrible, I don't care how beautiful they are. And so we'll see. I haven't seen Creator, so I shouldn't speak, but I have friends who I have faith in, who have reacted. And also, what did he just say? He said, "It's beautiful. It's flawed, but it's beautiful. It's really flawed."
Well, maybe we can come
the
back
ending
to
is
it.
Especially flawed.
Yeah, maybe
So it's like,
next month we can come back to it, and
if I get to see it.
if you get to see it.
So let's carry on.
Sean, Frank is not a horror guy, but I'm trying to change that. I'm working on him.
So what's you tell him what your horror suggestion is? Do you have a horror suggestion?
Well,
it's not Day Zero, really.
Hold on 1 second. Let me.
Oh, the one that you recommended to Frank.
Yeah.
No One Can Save You.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you recommend that?
Yeah. Check that out, Sean. That's got some great suspense in that. Great suspense. It nails the suspense, but will Rick like the story and the ending? I'm curious to hear
No, I
what
won't.
Ray.
Because you had to ask. I love *Malignant*. I love *Happy Death Day*. And what was the other one he did? The one with Vince Vaughn where he switches body with a murderer.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking. Freaky.
Freaky. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. That's my idea of a great horror movie.
Yeah, you think I would have loved *Malignant*, but
Yeah.
I had issues with that. So
we'll talk about it at some point. I love
in the future. But I did a whole rant on
I
it.
also loved the one that were in the house with Mac and Apple. What's his name? The guy's in the Apple commercials. He plays Apple, and John Hodgman plays the PC. All that series of commercials. Well, Justin Long. That movie Justin Long was in.
Barbarian.
Barbarian. I love Barbarian. I thought
that was another movie I had issues with.
So now you can see the differences between me.
But it's fun.
Phat,
but the important thing is we can agree to disagree and still be friends.
Exactly right. Let's go on to the next project.
Some people can't do that. All right.
What's
next up, we have the Continental.
Have you seen that?
No, not. I'm waiting till it's done, and then I'm going to binge.
Well, here's the deal.
But yeah, go ahead.
I could have watched part 2. I could have watched it last night. I could have watched it today. But I saw part 1. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
It starts extremely well.
Okay.
The opening sequence. No, don't show him.
Okay.
Show his brother.
Okay.
Do you have something from the opening sequence?
No, that's all I got.
The opening sequence is awesome.
Okay.
And I was going, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah, exactly, Michael. You're exactly. It's more than meh as far as I'm concerned. But Michael, would you agree that opening sequence where the brother steals the MacGuffin was really
pretty
tight
good
and strong?
Okay.
And then I'm going, like I said, this is going to be good. But that's the first 15, 20 minutes, maybe first half hour tops.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the first major scene with Mel Gibson. Now, Mel Gibson is playing the head of the Continental, the guy who's managing. He's playing that character. And I'm sorry for Mel Gibson. I'm sorry he went through I'm sorry he had a terrible father. I'm sorry that his mind was corrupted and he became a racist because of his dad. I'm sorry about that. But that doesn't change for me that Mel Gibson is one of the great action filmmakers of all time.
Yes.
As well as appears in great, great action films. So he shows up in this first sequence. And I'm telling you, his performance was, from the moment he opened his mouth, his performance was DOA.
Oh, no.
It was MIA, it was CIA, it was every imaginable bunch of letters you can imagine.
Yeah.
He's doing this. He seems to think that he's in a road company of guys and dolls.
Oh.
He's playing a mobster. And he's talking, like this. And it's like, oh, Mel, come on, this is your comeback. This is your shot, man. Oh, yeah. People I trust don't like it. Well, I hope you trust me, man. Because from that moment on, I mean, it was doing this, and then it hit that scene, and then it went boom. The next thing that happens, he's asked the 3 guys in his office to get the thing that his son, it turns out it's one of his sons, stole. It's the MacGuffin. It's the coin maker that, so you're able to get in. And he asked them to get it back, and they didn't get it back. So he's saying, there's the only reason I'm not killing you is that, and he looks at his concierge and he says, the rules, and he goes, yeah, you can't kill. So he opens the door to the balcony, and he basically tells the guy, it would be great if you would jump off. And I went, well, that's kind of stupid. I mean, that's kind of wasteful. I mean, and also the 3 guys who were cast as the 3 men that he sent to get the coin machine back. The guy on to the right of Mel, to the left of us, he's the concierge. The guy on the right is his other son, who he gets to try to get the son who stole the machine. But he tells these 3 guys to get the machine back, and then tells one of them to commit suicide because he didn't. But you look at the 3 guys he got, they are completely wrong. They're poorly cast. They're completely wrong for the job. Why he got those 3 guys to go after it, it's kind of like, what, are they geniuses? Or they look completely wrong for that role. So the next thing that happens is that there's this, the other thing where the show falls apart is they're introducing all these extraneous characters. They just got subplot upon subplot upon subplot upon subplot that add up to nothing. They're all poorly cast. They're all, I mean, go back to that picture again. The kid on the, that guy right there. He's playing the son who's the lead. He at the end of the first episode dares to mouth the same words that John Wick says in the first movie. Gotta get me some guns, or whatever that line is. He says it. You know, I felt like taking a big bar of lye soap and washing his mouth out. You should, those words should not be in your mouth because you didn't live up to them.
Right.
You are a mediocre, this was a mediocre performance.
Now he's supposed to be playing Ian McShane's character, Winston, right? Or is he a different character?
No, well, I don't know. If he is, that's tragic. I mean, the whole show, but let me tell you what happens, because the female cop tries to get into the Continental, and she's been warned off by her partner.
Right.
And as she's going in, and you can see in the background, you can also tell that it's computer generated. You can see all these pedestrians in the background, all of them walking by. And as she's trying to get in behind her in the alleyway, that kid who, the completely wrong guy, the enforcer, appears, you know, screaming to hit the ground. Unlike John Wick, who was able to get shot, fall off that building, bounce off a metal fire escape, and land face first on the ground. He didn't scream, number one. He also didn't do it in the middle of the day because it was bright sunshine.
Right.
No one reacts. No one reacts to nobody. None of the people in the background, when they hear the scream, turn around and look where the scream is coming from. Where's the scream coming from? They just keep moving. He lands on the floor, on the ground. She reacts to it, but no one else. And I went, oh, this is fucked up. And sure enough, the show gets worse and worse and worse and worse from that moment on. The opening sequence is so good. I would believe that the creators of John Wick directed the opening sequence, and then gave it to Greg Coolidge and Turley Bull, who worked, who haven't made anything else good.
Right.
And they just,
well, Rick, I got some bad news, man.
What's
So
that?
since this is a prequel, he is supposed to be a young Ian McShane. He is supposed to be Winston, and the actor on the left of Mel there is supposed to be a young Charon.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be a young.
He does a good job.
Lance Reddick.
Yeah, he's the Lance Reddick.
He
does a good job.
He's good. Okay.
He's believable.
Okay.
But the other guy, the guy who's supposed to be in McShane, he may look a little bit like him, but but
yikes.
And it's not, and I shouldn't blame them at all. I shouldn't blame them.
Yeah.
I mean, the script is terrible. It's just, I'm just watching it, rolling my eyes, not believing each scene that comes up. And again, what you were saying, the other, I didn't read that message that the gentleman said about the subplots. And the subplot, and the leading character, the subplot from different characters we don't need. Not only do we not need, but the actors, I mean, the brother, when he finally finds his other brother, the one who was so awesome in the first half hour of the show, he's in love with the girl, but he's really in love with the girl. So he doesn't show any of the strength that he had in the, I mean, it was just a fustercluck.
Yikes.
It was a deeply disappointing experience, especially since the opening was so good.
Wow.
So somebody else is going to have to watch it and tell me whether the second or third part makes it worthy, because I'm not going to bother with it.
Well, here we go. Part 1 equals epic. Episode 2 looks like he's got some sad emojis
He has
there.
some
so.
sad faces. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You know, I don't really know why, Rick.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm a fan of the franchise, but I recognize its flaws too. But I'm still a
Yeah.
huge fan. But what's so weird is when I did the trailer reaction for the Continental, I was like trying to be positive and hopeful, and then as soon as the first episode was released, I just had no interest for some reason to watch it. Like
Yeah,
none. And I don't know why. I just
I-
didn't care anymore by the
As
time
I've
it
said-
came out.
As I've said either on the podcast or here on the show, and I've probably done it both places, John Wick I admire enormously because each episode gets better.
Mhm.
And each episode has brains, even though this last one was a total physiology-free video game movie.
Right.
There was a reason for that, which they express in the very first speech of the very movie done by Lawrence Fishburne. So all of it is smart. All of it is smart. All of it has backbones. All of it has brains. All of it has balls. This show does not.
Yikes.
It's
Oh, here we go. The episode 2 is shockingly bad.
Mhm.
The constant needle drops of famous songs does not help and feels really out of place. And
Yeah,
Fanatical
again-
Dragon knows his stuff, so that's not good.
They needed the ethereal voice. You could tell
Yikes.
that the creator of One Piece was involved in One Piece. You
Right.
could tell that the creators of John Wick were not involved in the Continental.
Wow.
Again, it was just the same thing as Game of Thrones. They screwed the pooch. They dropped the ball because it wasn't the original guys.
Wow.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, I dodged another bullet. But now, how do you now feel about Ahsoka, Rick?
First,
Yeah.
well,
You
again,
had concerns with the first 2 episodes.
yeah, ethereal voice. Every single episode is written and produced. Several of the episodes also directed by Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni has his vision. And for better or worse, and mostly it's better, this is his vision. You can tell it's the ethereal voice. This man knows more about Star Wars than anybody. And he also loves it more than anybody. And he knows what love means. And also, just like John Wick, it gets better. First 2 episodes, a little rough. The second episode of One Piece, a little rough. But everything after, building, better. Everybody has, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. The reason that was the best Marvel movie in a while is that they attach the emotions of the characters to everything that happens.
Yeah.
While the emotions of the characters in Multiverse of Madness and in Quantumania are MIA. But Ahsoka, I want to see Ahsoka in Osaka. Every move is dictated by who they are and what they're emotional. And so Ray Stevenson is amazing. She's amazing. I mean, the girl who plays her Padawan is not great. And I'm a little disappointed in who they cast as Ezra, but doesn't matter because the real star of the show is Dave Filoni. And the action it's still samurai lightsaber action. And again, I was really sad that they cut all the. I was asked by Ed Gross to talk about every single lightsaber battle in every single Star Wars movies for his oral history of Star Wars, and they took all that stuff out.
Oh.
But this is great stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the finale and see if they're able to nail the landing. Yeah, the Clone Wars flashbacks done in live action, the subtleties. You know you're in the hands of a professor who knows more than you and is giving you lovingly giving you dishes of food. And again, it doesn't matter what the plate is like. It doesn't matter what the table is like. It doesn't matter what the cutlery is like. It matters that the food is delicious.
All right. Okay. How many episodes are left? I thought it was done
I
already.
think one.
Ah,
I
okay.
think there's just this one. What's today?
Today's the first. Well,
Yeah,
for us,
the
it's the
two. I
first.
believe Tuesday is this coming Tuesday is the ending because they're starting Loki. They're starting Loki on Friday, I believe.
Ah, copy that.
Yeah.
All
Loki
right.
season 2.
So that's good news for all you Ahsoka fans out there. Yeah, that is because I know that some people had some issues with just like you. You were like, "Ooh, this first episode too."
Yeah, it's good news to me. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have made it. We have made it to the end of the stream. So all
Thank
you
you,
badasses
everybody. Thank you.
just watching right now, just showed up. You know we got to do the Rick recap. So we're gonna go through. If those of you that have missed
For
our
all you
ratings
wise
on
asses
stuff.
and smart asses,
Yes,
I'll do
yes.
my.
All right.
thing.
So Bad City, I'm giving 2 thumbs up. 2
I'll
thumbs
give one
up.
thumb up.
All right, there you go. 2 thumbs up for me. And Creation of the Gods. Okay. All right. Day 0. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's about right. All right. One Piece. Okay. Okay. Well, we're leaning a little bit, but still positive. Okay.
Yeah, because one.
Equalizer 3. Frank, what do you think? Frank gave it like that or what?
Frank, well,
Lean
Frank
to the
just
left.
kept on harping that it wasn't an action film, and I'm like going, "What? How the hell do you define action?" No, I think it's a great kung fu movie.
All right, there we go. There we go. Expend4bles. All right. I'm just going to do that just for fun. And Gran Turismo. All right.
And yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Or
All right.
better yet, we'll do this.
With the thumb out. For Frank, he already gave us 2 thumbs up for the creator.
I'm telling you. I'm
predicting.
For me, it's going to be this.
Yeah. That's. I have a feeling.
Because
And
if the ending's not good, like I said, I don't care what comes before.
One quick question, Rick.
Yeah.
You were concerned with Ahsoka at first,
Yep.
but it got better.
It did.
Are you willing to return to the Continental and give it a shot?
No.
So there you go. 2 thumbs down. 2 thumbs down.
Your wonderful guys have already said that the second episode was awful.
Yeah.
So I'll wait to see what the reviews of the third one. I'll just go on YouTube. I'll go on to Screen Crush or New Rock Stars and see what they say. I don't have to waste my time.
Ahsoka. All right. Look at that. All right. There you go, guys. There you go, guys. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget, links in the description box below. Follow Frank Djeng. Follow Ric Meyers. Hey, if you're new here and you had a great time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. That's right. Buy the Magic Crystal on Blu-ray. I will, after the stream is over, I'll put a link in the description box so you guys can
get it quick. It'll sell out. It will sell out.
It's going to sell out because it is limited. Also, check in the links in the description box below. Get a piece of Rick. That's right. Autographs from all these amazing actors and filmmakers that were in these projects. If you want to own photos, signed photos, and signed posters from these legends, check out the store. Yes. And
also, I've got a lot of stuff. We've got collectibles coming up. We got watches coming up.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of photos. We've got a lot of pictures. They're already up on the site.
There's a lot of cool stuff there, guys. So make sure you check it out. But hey, thanks again for watching. Keep watching movies. Keep being awesome. Keep enjoying yourself. Keep the action genre strong, baby. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.